Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're headed to the Texas Hill Country to look at this massive pink granite dome that just kind of rises out of the landscape like something from another planet. It's called Enchanted Rock, and for literally thousands of years, it's been the source of some serious mystery and just incredible stories.
So right off the bat, you need to know this rock is, well, it's not quiet. See, after a long, hot Texas day, as the evening starts to cool things down, this huge stone actually starts to groan and creak. You can imagine the local tribes and early settlers hearing these spooky sounds echoing out there and thinking, what in the world is inside that thing?
And it's not just the sounds. This is where things get even weirder. After a rainstorm, people have sworn they've seen these strange, flickering lights right on the peak. The Tonkawa people actually called them ghost fires, believing they were spirits. So you've got these two things, the creepy sounds and the ghostly lights, and that's really the heart of why it's called Enchanted Rock.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. What's the deal? Are these strange happenings proof of something supernatural, or is there another explanation? We're going to explore all of it, from ancient spirits to Texas Rangers, to figure out what gives this place its legendary name.
You know, the very first stories we have come from the indigenous peoples who've lived here for, get this, over 12,000 years. For tribes like the Comanche and Tonkawa, Enchanted Rock was this place of immense power, something to be both deeply feared and revered. And the tales they pass down, man, they're full of tragedy and spirits that linger. One story tells of a band of warriors whose ghosts now haunt the very spot where they made their final stand. Then there's the heartbreaking story of a princess whose spirit is said to remain after she leaped from the top in despair. There are even legends about a chief cursed for sacrificing his own daughter, whose footprints are supposedly the very indentations you can still see on the rock's surface today. So fast forward a bit, when Spanish and Anglo settlers started arriving, they heard these incredible native legends and, well, they started adding their own chapters to the story. The rock suddenly became this amazing backdrop for their own tales of heroism, romance, and straight-up survival in the Wild West. And probably one of the most famous of these new legends is this epic rescue story from back in the 1750s. It's all about a Spanish soldier, Don Jesus Navarro, who came to the mission in San Antonio and felt completely in love with a young woman named Rosa, who was the daughter of a local chief.
This is where the rock becomes a literal stage for some serious drama. In the legend, Comanche warriors snatch Rosa and drag her all the way to Enchanted Rock to sacrifice her. But Don Jesus, he's not having it. He chases after them and shows up in the absolute nick of time to fight them off and save her. I mean, it's a story straight out of an adventure movie.
But the rock wasn't just a stage for romance. It was also a backdrop for some real grit and survival stories. And this next one involves a legendary Texas Ranger, Captain John Coffee Jack Hayes. Back in the fall of 1841, he was out on a surveying trip when he got ambushed and totally cut off from his men by Comanche warriors.
Can you imagine? He's got nowhere to go, so he scrambles to the very top of Enchanted Rock to make his last stand. And for 3 grueling hours, 3 hours, he held them off, all by himself, using the rock's natural cover to his advantage.
The legend says the Comanches finally took off because they were convinced the rock was protected by powerful spirits, that it was helping him. This story became so iconic that, look at this, in 1936, the state of Texas put up this plaque right near the summit, cementing Jack Hayes' heroic stand in official history. Okay, so we've got ghosts, curses, epic battles, but what's really going on here? Behind all these incredible stories? Well, this is where science gives us a peek behind the curtain, and honestly, the answers are pretty fascinating. It turns out a lot of this enchantment has a perfectly good and, frankly, pretty cool geological explanation. Those spooky groans you hear at night, that's the sound of the massive granite dome contracting as its surface cools down really fast after a hot day. It's a process called exfoliation. And the ghost fires? Scientists are pretty sure that's just moonlight reflecting off wet crystals in the rock, or off little pools of rainwater. And the rock itself? Man, it's a geological superstar. It's part of what's called a batholith, which is basically this gigantic underground mountain of rock that formed over 1 billion years ago when magma cooled deep inside the Earth. So what we're seeing today is literally just the tip of this massive hidden mountain.
But here's the thing. Even when we know the science, it doesn't really take away the magic, does it? The rock's power to just make you stop and stare, that's as strong as ever. It's this amazing place where science, history, and legend all just crash together.
In fact, its allure is off the charts today. More than 250,000 people, that's over 250,000 people, come here every single year to hike the trails, climb its face, and just feel that unique sense of magic for themselves.
And that's what's so incredible about this place. You've got 12,000 years of human history happening right on top of 1 billion years of geology. It's just mind-boggling. And thankfully, back in 1978, it was protected as a state natural area so we can all go and experience it.
So that kind of leaves us with this final question, right? Does knowing that the grounds are just cooling rock and the lights are just reflections, does that take away the magic? Or maybe, just maybe, the real enchantment is found in us. It's in our own human need to tell stories, to find meaning and mystery in this amazing world around us. Perhaps the legends are just as real and just as important as the granite itself.